Hey, nice to have you here at the shop. Today is a really exciting day and I have to show you what's going on. I will do leather crafts. That's what I wanted to do for the last 20 years, but I never had the chance because I couldn't afford any of these expensive sewing machines. But now I have the chance, and the good news are I never worked with leather before, so either this will be a great success or an epic fail. Stay tuned, because what I will do is leather crafts 2.0 with a fancy tool. I like to cut and engrave the leather with a laser cutter. The company which supports this video is Xtool. They sell a large variety of desktop diode laser engravers and laser cutters, and they sent me their latest model, the Xtool D1 Pro, with a laser output of 20 watt. But the machine is nothing without ideas, so I've been sitting in front of my graphic tablet for the last 2 days, racking my brain for ideas, and it got stuck in a loop of these ideas, dear. And that's my idea. A deer I like to use for the project. As you've seen, I opened Photoshop and started to draw, but that's only the halfway gone. What I like to do is one of these vintage leather saddlebags you can put underneath your saddle. So the next step is to use Adobe Illustrator and to create the cut files for the leather bag. I took the measurements of one of these old saddlebags I could find online and drew them in Adobe Illustrator. That took me a while to figure out what I had to do, and what you can see here is the body panel, the front side and the back with all the stitch holes I use for sewing and the straps to mount the bag on the saddle. I created also a second file with the side panels and the straps to close the bag. But that's not all what I wanted to do, so I changed again to Photoshop, and the theme of the bag are the woods with the deer. So I painted also some mushrooms around the deer, and I found one of these vintage leather sewing machines online with these nice floral elements, and that's what I dig and what I wanted to use for my drawing as well. So I drew also some of these floral elements around the deer. That's for the front side of the bag, and I created also some of these floral elements for the back side, and I created also a wreath for my signature, you can see here, and that's all I painted. Then I changed again to Adobe Illustrator, imported these files to my cut file. The artwork and the cut files are done, but I have one little problem. I ordered only a small piece of leather, enough to cut the bag one time, which is a stupid idea because I never worked with leather before, I never used a laser cutter before, and I never built a bike bag before. So all in all, a guarantee to run 100% into trouble. But I'm a blondie and I know what to do, so I decided to use a sheet of paper to put it in the laser cutter, let it do its thing, and to find out if anything is wrong with my artwork or my cut files. And here they are, all the paper parts to build the first leather bag prototype. I made 2 of these prototypes with minor adjustments to be 100% sure not to run in trouble, and as it seems it will not end in a disaster, but I have to do some minor adjustments, like to remove one of these holes for the buckle, and I will change also the length of the straps. I will make them a little bit longer. That's what I have to change on the cut files, and then it's time to cut the leather. I have fixed the leather with tape on the table so it cannot slip during the cut, and I like to show you also a very useful feature in Illustrator, and that's our layers. You can use different layers for your design and your cut as shown here. I have one layer for the design and underneath the cut file, and now we change to the Lightburn software, the software for these laser cutters, and we import the original Illustrator file to Lightburn, and we have exact these 2 layers shown here, the cut file and the design file, and that's very useful because I have different settings for the cut and the engraving, and the only thing I have to do is I have to set the speed and the power for the engraving and for the cut. Now I can do a framing to find out if the leather fits the design, and when all went well, we are good to go and we can hit start. And these are the fresh cut leather parts. I gave them a quick wash with dish soap and water to remove any debris and the burnt edges from the laser cutting. And now comes the hardest part, because I have to bend 2 of them, the side panels, the edges of the side panel, to sew them onto the body panel. And to do that I have to build a jig. I use some wood glue to glue the jig on the baseboard. And next I spray on some matte varnish to protect the wood against any moisture. Bending the leather was much easier than I expected it to be. I did the first panel already, so let's do the second one and I'll show you what I have done. I soaked the 2 panels in water for 5 to 10 minutes. Then I gave them a quick dry with a paper towel. And the only thing I have to do is I have to press the leather panel in my jig. It's very easy, the leather is very soft. I can use my hands to press it in shape. And that's nearly all I have to do. But what I will do is I will use these 2 wooden parts to clamp the leather until it's fully cured. And the last step is old-fashioned leather craft with threads and needles. I have to stitch all these parts by hand, but it's so easy even for a beginner like me, because all the stitch holes are already burned in the leather. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Goodbye.